time, or on three-quarter time.
Set to go in the final term. The D's have got to come from behind. They trail by 20 points. Have not won a final term all season. Jamar and Simmons. Cook got first hands on the football to Headland. It's going to be pretty hot early on, you'd imagine. McManus, kick smothered off the boot of Carr. And the Demons a chance now through Brown to half forward at ground level. Polak, who was in the middle of that skirmish with Neitz right on three-quarter time, taken out of the tackle. The ball goes out of bounds on the full. Melbourne need the first one. They've got to maintain that emotion. McManus absolutely crunches Rigoni. It spills to Brown. Inside 50. Here's Robertson. Flip to Wheatley. Back to Robertson. Gets boot to ball. Inside 50. Chance for the D's. Jamar couldn't quite bring it down. Hayden sits on top of him. Free kick. There it is on replay. And Mark Jamar, playing his fourth game of football this afternoon. He's kicked 2 goals in his career. He was a late inclusion for Jeff White.
Well, give him credit there because he had a quicker opponent. Once the ball came down, he knew he had to dive, and once he put his body on the ground, the opponent fell over the top of him. There was a free kick there, and Jamar's been impressive. Sandilands has been impressive for Fremantle.
Important kick, this one. The first goal of the final term is vital. The D's can get it. They'll be excited. They'll have momentum. The crowd will get up and firing. Here's Jamar from the angle. Just tries to guide it inside the left post. We'll wait on it. Misses. So behind. Melbourne still searching for that elusive first goal. The margin back to 19 points.
A couple of good signs at the start of this quarter, though. Desperate play by Ward to do that smother out of the centre bounce when the Dockers were going forward. Jamar fighting hard at ground level. Dockers by 19 points. Great kicking. 13-2-80. It's been amazing kicking. 9-7-61 the Demons. And we've got a boundary throw in. Let's go down to Mark Doran.
Before I spoke to Mark Rowley at three-quarter time, could hear Neil Danaher imploring his side to kick the first goal. That was his message, and he's moved Brad Green onto the wing where he cut up Port Adelaide a couple of weeks ago.
Yet to win a final quarter this year. None from 8, Mark Rowley told us, for Melbourne. Armstrong couldn't get past. Ken set it up, needed a kind bounce was Robinson. Got an ugly one. Chance for Hadrill. Somehow gets the ball back to Hayden. Caught high. Will take the free kick.
No doubt the free kick was there, KB, but the other thing was if it wasn't around the neck, it was going to be intentional over the line.
So this young man's had 11 possessions. There's not a good sign for Melbourne. Robinson limping and can hardly run. Jamar. Now they've paid Polak in front.
I'm pretty sure he had a fair bit of the ball then, KB. One thing about him, very impressed, he does get to the front position.
Feeds it off to Shammer. Pumps the ball back. Working his way to the front was Ward. Godfrey. Ward is quick. Does run with the ball. Ball carrier. Can set it up. Robinson in front. It's difficult down that end of Punt Road. The sun just shines in your eye in this last quarter. Can be tough for defenders. There's a silly free kick. Surely that was a free kick to Cook. Heffernan just steps over the line.
I think it was Whelan went before acceptances there. If you don't mark the ball here,
had to get a free kick.
I think the umpire was unsighted.
Can't even say the sun was in his eyes. It's in the shadows. Now blocking off the ball
against Crow.
Trent Crow, just the 6 possessions today. Hasn't kicked a goal. Jamar could be an emerging player for Melbourne. To centre half forward. Hayden gets back. That's not a good sign, an uncontested mark. When it comes inside 50, you've got to be desperate. Goes wide, finds Headland. You can find a lot of space. Hugs the boundary line. Kicks the ball back. Looking for Crode. Goes to ground, Shammer. Kicked a great goal in the third term. Back to the half-forward line, Carr. And a lot of possession also in the first half, taken over by McManus.
So the doctor went out to Russell Robertson. We saw him limping, still looking a bit proppy as he makes his way back to the goal square. Doctor came out, runner came out, and Robertson's assured them both that he wants to go on. As Melbourne turn the screws in the final term, they trail by 19 points. They've had all the play early going of this quarter. They've got to make it count on the scoreboard. Jamar did well. Here's their chance through Brown. Runs away. Can go to Robertson on the long lead. Great effort. Brilliant mark from Hadrill. These no-namers in the back half of the Dockers quickly making a name for themselves. Hadrill, Hayden, Woods. And the ball now with Pavlich to McManus. Gathered an awkward one. Inboard to Grover. He's got some space through the middle. Can thump it long and high. Longmuir's there. Sandilands there as well. Comes to ground for Longmuir. Wrapped up. Heffernan, one arm pinned. Play on, Longmuir again. Freed the hands. Got it to Cook. Williams tackled him, but he got it to Coops. Twists, turns. Releases his man. Walker, who misses. So we're still waiting for the first goal of the final term as Clive watches on. The margin 20 points. We've played 5 minutes. Bizzle to McDonald for his 13th touch. To open space. Long ball for Wheatley to run to. How will it bounce? Polak with him. Wheatley did well. Kept it alive. Did very well. Accelerates to 50, then drops the football. Runs over the top of it. Polak to Shammer. And now the Dockers can counter punch. Could be crucial. Here's McManus. Can go inside 50. Longmuir. Williams put his body on the line. Brings it to the deck for Rigoni. He's gang tackled. We'll have a bounce 55 metres out from goal. And Tony, it's just the little things in a game of footy.
Well, there's no justice in this game. I think Melbourne's been fantastic the first 5 minutes, but as Kevin said, a couple of times kick it long, uncontested marks to Fremantle in their forward line. The Melbourne forwards have to stand up. Wheatley, unlucky on that occasion. You can't knock the kid for taking him on. Just failed at the end.
Jamar takes the front position. McDonald, Brown, under pressure. Shammer closing quickly. Good play by Williams. Hits a target under pressure. Taken away by Bizzle. Kicks a high ball. Important contest. Good mark to Hayden. Now he hasn't moved off his line.
He's cramping up or he's hurt his knee.
Sends the ball back to Carr, who just thumps it back towards centre half forward. Longmuir kicked 3 goals in that third term. Chance for McManus. Ward did well, made it a contest. Goes to the ground, got a shove. We'll take a free kick.
There's the Hayden injury.
So the Dockers by 20 points. Melbourne hasn't won a last quarter so far this year. Finds Williams and a loose player in Godfrey. He's at centre half back. Great chasing. Brown couldn't take it. Armstrong, good hands. To Green. Centres the kick, looking for Robinson. Does he get a bounce? Can he get a bounce? Can he handle the ball? Robinson from a tight angle. He's hit the post. He got half excited, but he's hit the woodwork. Dockers by 19 points.
Just seemed the luck's of fortune with Dockers that Wheatley coming forward, bouncing the ball going through his legs, another turnover, and Russell Robinson hitting the post on that occasion.
Looks like Hayden cramping up in the right calf, receiving some treatment on the bench. Good kick. This man Polak takes his 10th mark. 16 touches, 10 marks on the back of 8 marks last week. Hazelby to Cook. Steps inside Whelan. Goes high and long inside 50. Coops will fly. Almost spectacular effort. Godfrey to Williams, and now the D's a chance. Still yet to register a goal in the final term. We've gone 8 minutes. Green can go inside 50. There's some space for Pavlich. Track back. Neats came crunching through. Couldn't lay effective body on body. Pavlich to Polak again. Out wide for Headland. Got Godfrey to beat. Boundary line closes and wins. So 19 points the difference. Played 9 minutes in the final term. The Dockers have added 1 behind. Melbourne have added 2 behinds as we look at the leading stat getters. Jamar and Simmons. Simmons a tap, picked off by Brown. Handball to Wheatley. Tries to evade Polak and does. Gets away. Great second effort from Polak. Drags him down. Affects the kick. And McManus gets the turnover.
Well, Melbourne's had 50 more possessions than the Dockers. And they trail 13-3-81 to 9-8-62. It's a 19-point ball game. Bell, defensive 50, loose player.
I think, Jason, you said it's a game of inches. That tackle by Graham Polak just put enough pressure on to take the kicker off the ball. That's the difference in tight games.
Bizzle's been good in defence for Melbourne. Transfer play to Ward, who can run with the ball. Hazelby chasing hard out of the forward line. That's good hard running. Chris Connolly would like that. In front, he's got it! Robertson! Well, a few moments ago he was limping. He looked to be in trouble. He had the trainers out and the doctors. He said, I'm okay. This is a test of strength here against Dion Woods. Good grab.
Well, Dion Woods wouldn't want to get in those contests, KB. He'd rather get a couple of yards away so he can run and jump at the ball.
This to bring him back to just 13 points. Robinson runs in. Hammers it home.
The Melbourne small defenders have had great games, haven't they? Ward's been hard, running through the lines. Nathan Brown, 28 possessions at this stage. And Matthew Whelan also. But that's where Dion Woods does not want to get involved, body on body. You can see the different size of the biceps on both players. A little bit of magic from Russell Robinson.
So back in the middle, a margin 13 points. Played 11 minutes in the final term. Simmons over the top of Jamar. Heffernan couldn't hang on, but it flipped to the advantage of Ward. Demons running hard. Godfrey, Whelan, inboard. Here they go again through Ward. Inside 50. Robertson again. Couldn't quite bring it down. Still alive at ground level for Hadrill. Bangs it on his boot. Here's Bell. McDonald runs him down. Here go the D's through Uze. Advantage paid. Uze runs to 50 from the boundary. Squares it up. Neats. Not quite.
Gee, nearly a free kick to Neats.
I was going to say he was pulled off the ball. I think David Neats is very unlucky here. And he's having a few words to the umpire.
Well, Hadrill didn't even have eyes for the ball. He just grabbed him.
It looked like, I agree with you, Tony.
Back to 2 straight goals. And this game is in the balance.
I think it was so close to the goal line that the umpire just thought, oh, well, throw your hands up in the air. But no doubt David Neats was taken off that marking contest.
Walk along to a contest. Bizzle flies over the top. Cook tried to get through. Was tackled illegally, said the umpire. Advantage paid. Crode's got it on the wing. Can go inside 50. Longmuir tries to work his man under it. It spills to Shammer. Through traffic. Handball to Longmuir. He dribbles it, dribbles it, dribbles a goal! Longmuir's got 4. David Neats is disgusted at the other end of the ground. He's still fuming about the umpiring decision. Even more costly, Tony. It's now an 11-point turnaround, and Fremantle have snuck away again.
Well, young Shammer, again, the poise. Could have put the ball on the boot very quickly, crumbed the ball, and then handballed the Longmuir. Very dangerous player. It just showed again poise, didn't kick the ball high in the air, but made it work his way. Here's Neats again. Now, you can't take a player out of the contest like that. That is holding the man.
87 plays, 69. The Dockers by 18 points. They've led all day. 16 points at quarter time, 3 points at half time, 20 points at three-quarter time. They've got a ball up still inside the centre square. Still time for Melbourne. Just over 9.5 minutes left.
Looks like Carr's going to Uze across halfback. Pavlich is on the ball now. You can see him there against Ward.
Biggest lead of the day, Dockers by 33 points. That was at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. Armstrong somehow got boot the ball. Dribbles the ball to 50. McManus did well. Coming through strongly was Neats. Hadrill. Umpire's paid advantage. Goes short. Finds Grover. He's on centre wing. Loose players. McManus, edge of the centre square. Carr says, kick it long. Longmuir's going to be the target in front. Lopes to the ball. He's got 4. He's kicked 3 goals in the third term and 1 in this final quarter. And he's been hard to match up on all day, Tony.
Yeah, look, I feel for Ryan Ferguson. I still believe Clint Bizzle has not been given enough responsibility in the last month at the footy club. You like him because he rebounds so well, but he's reading the play. I think sometimes you've got to give him the responsibility and say, go and play on the best forward. He is now playing on Sandilands, who's just standing in the square, so you lose Bizzle's rebound anyway.
Longmuir is usually a very straight kick. Starts to bend it back. He's got 5. And the Dockers lead by 24 points.
5 second-half goals to Troy Longmuir. Neats did it in the first term, kept Melbourne in the first half, rather, Tony, kept Melbourne in the game when things weren't going their way, and it's been Justin Longmuir in the second half.
Yeah, Justin Longmuir, he is a class act, and he's just gone that next step from a player who was on the borderline of going from stardom. Now he just might have taken that next step to become one.
So the Freo chant echoes around the stands at the MCG. Not something this famous stadium's heard a lot of over the years. Just the one win from 15 visits for the Dockers. It was back in 1999 against Melbourne. McManus dragged down. Carr off a step towards Bell. Spills for the Demons and Ward. Flips it over the top. Armstrong's going to be wrapped up by Walker. He is. Ball spills free. Pavlich to Bell. To Polak. It's been super impressive this afternoon. Touched off his boot. Williams dragged down by Walker. Ball still alive for Melbourne. It's Armstrong. Goes inside 50. Neats has got away. He's kicked 4. 1 in the first, 3 in the second. Tough angle from here, but he needs to go back and kick it. The D's trail by 4 goals.
Well, they haven't thrown it in, Melbourne, have they? Again, in the middle of the ground, they were a bit tougher. Ward, Armstrong's had a fairly solid game for him.
Starts his run at the top of the race. Gets to 50. It's close. Oh, it just misses. 4 goals, 2 to David Neats. And Melbourne inside 4 goals. The margin now 23 points. We've played 16 minutes in the final term. Hadrell with the kick in. The Dockers play the huddle at centre-half back, as you can see. They scatter now. Hadrell will go to the outer side. Long kick. Polak his target. Pavlich over the top. At ground level. It's wrapped up by Brown. Here go the Demons through Ward. Goes with a banana. And I'm not sure why. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, they need something special, and that would have been very special. A banana kick from outside 50. Just had the... Oh, look, you don't know. They're under pressure, so they're trying something different. Top of the square was percentages.
Well, he might be very good on his left side, Tony.
No, you're right there too, KB.
Pavlich took it from Bell, goes wide. They can find space. Walker from half back drills the ball in.
Too strong.
And Longmuir, who's booted 5 second-half goals, 3 in the third term, 2 in this last quarter. He's been a match winner up forward. Dion Woods is a big improver. Chance for the high fly. Sandlin just stands in front, and at 211 centimetres, he's just too big, too tall, too strong, and too good.
Well, Clint Bizzle was playing on him, KB. They made a change. I would think try to get some rebound from Clint Bizzle, and Miller has gone to that position. There's Bizzle in front of the pack. Just too big and too strong.
Very athletic for a man 211 centimetres.
Not bad for a rookie player also.
Sandlins doesn't like it.
It's a long way down to that foot, KB.
I think he might have kicked it with his knee. Not too many behinds today for the Dockers. 15-3, 93 to 10-10-70. Green finds Miller, who's under pressure. Bell pounces on it. Great running player, Shammer. One of their young guns, the Waterhouse. And Clive's got it. Now, before he had his knee reconstructions, Clive was a thumping kick. He would go back from outside 50. He'd put it straight over the goal umpire's hat. Waterhouse will kick from virtually the front edge of the centre square. Clive right to the line. Longmuir! The skyrocket! has gone up, he's come down, and he's kicked a goal. He's got 6. 6 goals to number 20.
Well, you have to say, and everybody's been saying all year, Neil Danaher, what does he do about his lack of key defensive players? Nicholson out, Ellis is out. Young Lamb didn't get a game today, so I think they've got to look back to Lamb. Lamb was a good player last year, and he was an emergency today. They need someone else, even if he plays off the bench.
Well, only one side has conceded more set-shot goals than Melbourne this year. And again today, Justin Longmuir's done a number on them in the second half. He's kicked 6. Jamar and Simmons. Great tap from Simmons down to Bell. Kick smothered. Headland flips it to open space. Ward almost gave it up to McManus, so he reeled it in himself. Umpire will bounce.
The good sign for Fremantle, Jason, is that Chris Connolly would be rapt that Melbourne came at him, and they've came at him a couple of times and they've stood the test, especially in Melbourne. So it just shows they've matured as a group. They're probably a little bit harder. Still a few doubts about certain things, their body strength in some areas.
Certainly developing an emerging side. Been no fluke, the Dockers, this year. McDonald takes the mark.
50 metres.
And it will be 50 against Clive. Interesting to see as the season progresses. They play such a hard-running style of football, the Dockers. Can they keep it going all year? We know Chris Connolly works the bench hard. Will they run out of puff in the second half of the season?
I think the impressive thing about the Dockers today, they've been a lot more direct. 40 possessions less than Melbourne and 1 scoring shot less, and they lead by 29 points.
Done it all year. Changed their game plan. Williams to Robertson on the half volley. Swings onto the left boot. Hoiks it back to the goal square. Neitz tries to work through a couple. Spills to Armstrong. Still there. Hadrill. He wanted to concede. Pavlich picked it off. To half back. Walker under pressure. Dragged down by Williams. Robertson will have another go. Emerges from the traffic. Flips it over the top. Uze wants to get onto his left. Bumped. Back to Robertson. He snaps at goal. And misses. 2-2 to Russell Robertson.
One thing with Melbourne also, Peter Vardy's had a very quiet day. Brad Green now has gone in the middle of the ground. They lose his goal-kicking ability. It's really up to Neitz and Robinson, which makes it easy to defend.
Leon Shelley's battled injury, just 6 touches. Rigoni just 6 touches as well. So a couple of prime movers haven't seen much of the football this afternoon. McManus to Waterhouse. Handball inboard to Shammer. Back to McManus, working hard as always. Inside 50 for Cook. Well worked from Sean McManus. He's got enormous appetite for hard work. He's up to 23 possessions again this afternoon. One of only 4 original Dockers left. And one man who more than most will be savouring some wins in Melbourne. Hasn't played in too many over the years.
Well, you know what you get with Sean McManus, don't you? You get a contest every time that he plays. He's been criticised because of his kicking ability, but as you said, one of the original Dockers. He stood the test of time in footy.
Troy Cook kicked 9-5 this season. Starts at left and it lands right on the top of the goalpost, right on the knob. A behind to Troy Cook. 23 minutes gone. The Dockers by 29 points, and as Clint Bizzle says, we've just got to go long, straight up the middle.
That's exactly what he does. Looking for Ferguson, camped in front, big fist away. Cook had it and lost it. Hazelby all bandaged up. And Brown has been fantastic for Melbourne today. To Uze, to Leon Challey. Really struggled. He's been off the field at one stage. Looked to have an injury. He spent some time virtually in the forward pocket. Here's Ward. Battled hard for Melbourne today. Brown, Ward and Whelan have had a lot of the ball. Peter Bell is the leading possession winner for the Dockers. 25 possessions. Carr's had it 24 times. McManus 23. And for Melbourne, Brown 30. Leading possession winner on the ground. 26 to Ward and 24 to Whelan and Uze. And Troy Longmuir with 6 second-half goals has been the match winner for the Dockers. Carr gives it across to Walker. One of his rare fumbles today. Neitz has battled hard. He's booted 4 goals as well. The skipper. Hurried kick, looking for Robinson. Got a bad bounce. Hadrill should clean up. Plenty of fresh legs for the Dockers. Grover, short to Pavlich. who at one stage looked like he may have had a calf problem. And on the interchange bench getting some treatment. No doubt he's okay. He wants to go wide. Very big transfer. Opens it up to Hayden. Bell's going to be the target out wide, and the skipper. Just camped across half-back. Waits for Carr. So they're just keeping possession now, the Dockers. They're going to win 4 on the trot. Coming in today, just 1 win out of 15 times at the MCG, and that was against Melbourne. That was way back in round 10, 1999. Well, they're going to have 2 now from 16 games. And I think we're going to see plenty more as well. Great tackle by McManus. And you're right, Tony, he gives 100%.
That's exactly what I was talking about. The other thing too, which is good for the Dockers, is that Medhurst, Crowe have had quiet games. Pavlic's probably not to his best, but that's exactly why he has survived in AFL football.
Carr will just share the ball with Simmons, playing against his old side. Goes for a trot. 60 metres out to the square. Longmuir could be dangerous. Not on this occasion. Taken by Jolly. Great smother. Headland can kick a goal. Missed.
The other question also, KB, is Melbourne. I think this has probably ended their thoughts of playing in the finals.
The D's will go to 3 and 6. The Dockers 6 and 3. Only been in the top 4 3 times in their history. They'll be knocking on the door this evening. Heffernan. Flip it over the top to Lee and Shelley. Quiet day for him, as you mentioned. Injury problem to worry about. Inside 50 for his 7th touch. Woods brings it to ground. It'll come to Grover. Handball to Cook. To the run of Hayden. Up the middle of the ground. 2 on 1. Godfrey to ground. Williams to Ferguson. To Jolly. And the Dockers win at the MCG for the 2nd time in their history. And they've won 4 on the trot for the 1st time in their history. This is a side on the rise, make no doubt about it. Fremantle, 16-5, 101. Defeat Melbourne, 10-11-71. The final margin, 30 points. They led by 16 points at quarter time, 3 at half time, 20 at 3/4 time, and withstood the second half pressure from Melbourne to eventually run out 30-point winners. Justin Longmuir finishing with 6 goals, 2 each to Coops and Farmer.